I'm here today to provide an update on the readiness of our school buildings for the 2017-18 academic year that officially begins on September 11th. During the summer months, government workers in both the Ministries of Education and Workforce Development and the Ministry of Public Works undertake a scheduled maintenance and building upgrades to improve our school facilities in preparation for the start of school each September. The purpose of this annual program is to carry out repairs that will ensure a safe and healthy environment for our students, principals, teachers, and administrative staff. We are in the final cleaning and repair work at the majority of public schools, and they are all on schedule to be fully operational and ready for handover to our teachers on September 1st. Significant repair and maintenance projects undertaken to improve our school buildings included the renovation of student restrooms at Lyceum and Warwick Preschools and at T. and Tatum Middle School, the tent fumigation of Victor Scott Primary School and West Pembroke Infant Block, roof replacement at Elliott Primary, the installation of a natural playground at St. David's Preschool, installation of perimeter fencing at Hope Academy, hallway and classroom floor resurfacing projects at Southampton Preschool, Somerset Primary, Prospect Preschool, Harrington Sound Primary, and St. David's Primary. Additional maintenance tasks were scheduled that included pest control assessments, fire alarm inspections and fire alarm installations, water fountain maintenance, and general cleaning and power washing of the various school sites. As the public is aware, Delwood Middle School was closed on June 12th, and students completed their classes at the Bermuda College. There have been ongoing concerns at Delwood regarding air quality, leaks, and mold. After an assessment and testing by the Department of Health, problem areas were identified and contractors to do remediation works was sought. However, it wasn't until July 25th, some 6 weeks after school closed, that at this government's first cabinet meeting, funding was finally approved to get Delwood Middle School safe for the academic year. Despite the hard work and long hours put in by the Ministry of Public Works staff and 3 contractors that are on site, we have determined that Delwood Middle School will not be ready in time for September 11th opening. The Commissioner of Education, the Department of Education's Facilities Manager, a representative from the Department of Health, the Minister of Public Works, and myself met with the Delwood team that included the principal, the PTSA staff, and BUT executive members, and including some parents, to work on the best and suitable arrangements to start the school year. While the preferred option will be to have the students back at their school, we will still welcome students back on September 11th, but they will be housed initially in locations in the city of Hamilton. Despite this challenge, the students of Delwood will receive the care and attention by the Delwood staff and the Department of Education staff, the necessary things needed to ensure the quality of learning will remain at a high level. By September 6th, we will know the final details of this solution and what will be required of this temporary relocation, and the general public will be notified accordingly. Outside of Delwood, all schools are expected to be ready to be opened on schedule for September 11th. This new government inherited severely neglected school infrastructure. To put this in perspective, 27 of our 29 primary and middle schools are older than that of our existing airport, an airport that is currently being replaced. It appears that year after year of patchwork has left us with buildings in need of serious attention. Despite these challenges, we have worked tirelessly from July 19th to ensure that what we had to work with was made safe for our students. Once the school year is underway, the Ministries of Education and Workforce Development and Public Works will examine how maintenance is done in the schools and will be implementing a maintenance plan that will include year-round maintenance and not just during the summers. Additionally, as promised in our election platform, structural, mechanical, electrical, and health and safety building inspection reports will be completed of all schools, which will enable us to have a complete picture of the condition of the schools in which we have inherited. This new government will keep its promise to ensure that public education is of the utmost priority, and the health and safety of our students and our teachers remains something that is in front of us. This year, we are grateful for the assistance we have received from members of the public to help get our schools ready. Ms. Angela Young and her team of Work Rally volunteers have done a great public service, and their efforts are to be applauded. On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Workforce Development and the government of Bermuda, I thank them for their commitment, drive, and willingness to share the load and helping us get our schools ready for the school year. Let me close by also thanking the teams at the Ministry of Public Works and Education who are tasked with maintaining and repairing and cleaning our schools in the face of the awesome challenges that they have to face year after year. Many of our existing school facilities need to be replaced, but we are grateful for the teams who work all year to keep them safe for our students, staff, and our surrounding communities. Thank you. And now I'll call on the Minister of Works.
Good afternoon. It remains for me just to reinforce what the Minister of Education and Workforce Development has said, but also to concentrate and highlight on, in everything there is room for improvement. And one of the things that we have identified over the course of the last 6 weeks that we've been in government is that the process for reporting and recording of maintenance issues in schools is flawed. And so, as you heard the Minister state, we will start immediately after school opens with getting the same teams around the table to come up with a plan of how we record those items and how we come up with a strategy and a schedule for continuing maintenance during the course of the school year, and not just waiting until summer to begin the process that obviously is impossible of being completed in the 2 months that you have for the summer break. Clearly, there are going to be issues as teachers and custodians move back into schools over the course of the next several weeks. We have teams that are standing by to address those concerns. As you probably can appreciate, dealing with 31 schools, you're likely to have missed something during the course of this process. All that teachers and custodians need to do, if it's maintenance areas issues that affect our ministry, is to dial what we call 911 in terms of ministry help, and we will address whatever issues are required in schools to ensure that they're open in September. Thank you.
Can you tell us how much Delwood's going to cost?
The remedial cost, the remedial contract for Delwood was approximately $450,000.
You have to go over that?
No, it's not anticipated that we will. I will let the public know that it was indicated that the works needed to fix Delwood would take approximately 6 weeks. We are now 3 weeks into their contract, and when I say hats off to the hard work that these workmen have put in, they have put in the hard work to get it ready to the point it is now. And we were very hopeful that we would be able to open, but that is not going to be possible.
So do you know when the school will open then?
The temporary relocation will be no longer than 2 weeks.
Where's the temporary location?
They will be housed in areas around the city of Hamilton.
Minister, last year Gilbert Institute didn't have a playground facility. Is that on your things to do for this year?
That I cannot answer to. I would have to get back to you on what was done exactly at Gilbert this year.
You had a lot of volunteers from the public this time round, which is great that everyone came together. But is that something that's going to become the norm, or is that just because there was such a backlog of stuff this time round? Well, Sarah, the volunteers or the work rally was an initiative that didn't start with any of the ministry or the government. This was a member of the public that saw that they wanted to give help. We encouraged that help. We welcome that help, and I would hope to see that members of the public will continue to give support to when it comes to schooling, to, getting schools ready, not just cleaning, but also throughout the year, as schools do always need additional help from parents and the community and the like.
Sure. What guarantees can you give to parents their children won't be living in schools that have got mould in them and bird mites, for example?
As I spoke, we will begin once the schools are ready, and we have been working with them very diligently. We will be looking at maintenance protocols that will continue throughout the year and not just during the summer. So that is the guarantee.
So
That
you're saying, but you will be looking at, you haven't looked at it already, so you can offer no real guarantee.
We will offer that this government is committed to providing a safe environment for our teachers and our students to attend their schools.
So can you say to them, right, we will make sure there will not be any problem with mold in the coming academic year?
We cannot make guarantees that anything will come up. I can guarantee you that we will look into the options and look into the issues that do arise and make corrections when they do arise.
I think it's important to note. That the Ministry of Health, I think that's where you're headed in terms of where we are currently, have been involved and are inspecting every school where there is issues with mold and air quality and water. One of the issues that the minister maybe are a little reluctant to raise is with teachers, and we've had this discussion with the BUT and with Delwood last night, is that many teachers like to hoard, and particularly paper, which is a magnet for mold. And we are going to take some steps and some intervention with each school to see how we can address that during the course of this school year.
Sorry, you're blaming mold on teachers hoarding paper?
No, I'm not blaming mold on teachers hoarding paper. Did you hear what I said? What I said was paper is a magnet for mold. And so part of the real problem with mold in this country, because everybody here has mold in their house. The real problem is opening windows and getting fresh air into schools. And so we've come up with a program that has been implemented with the custodians in every school in the country so that we can ameliorate the problem of mold being grown in the schools going forward.
A lot of this work, I'm sure, was sort of spurred from the outcomes of the SCORE report that was commissioned in the last government. Do you feel confident that you're working your way through? Are you almost through the recommendations that came out of that report?
I had a feeling the school report would be mentioned. What I did mention in my remarks is that we will undertake a comprehensive structural, electrical, mechanical, and health and safety review of every school, something the school report only touched on but didn't go into in great depth.
Okay.
And that will happen, that we will go further than what the school report did. And we will have complete reports on all of the schools and what state they truly stand in.
And this press conference was titled School Readiness. And one other issue, aside, I guess, from the infrastructural things, is the industrial threat that looms. Teachers are discussing work to rule. I understand you met with BUT this week. Did you come up with any conclusion? Are you confident that there's not going to be any industrial action on September 11th?
What I can tell you is that the PNST is the team that is charged with dealing with the union, and when they're ready to release a report on any of their negotiations, they'll release a report on the negotiations. I'm hopeful that teachers will be happy and ready to go back to school, but I cannot predict what will happen in the meeting that they plan to have on Friday.
On Friday, okay, thank you.